Wonderful people of Nigeria, I am George Onyibe, and this morning I want us to look at a message I simply titled 5 Reasons Behind the Inability for Nigeria to Prosper, for Nigeria to unite and prosper. Unity, most especially when it comes in diversity, is supposed to usher us into a state of prosperity unimaginable. But here we are in a nation that is blessed in diversities of cultures and tradition. And yet we are not united, divided across border and religious line. And if we do not unite, how could we exactly prosper? And of course, prosperity will come in different definitions, but our hope is that our people will understand what we are doing here. The project is simple. Nigeria must progress, or let us call it tough. But calling it tough is not an option. It's not going to be a walk on the tap. It's not something you're going to wake up one day and say, divide Nigeria in a time like this. Because somewhere along the line, we must tell the story of how we got here. And so this morning, you must understand that those who are clamoring for Nigeria to divide don't even want Nigeria to divide. Because certainly they will not be able to survive when Nigeria divide. And so Nigeria today is built on the platform that you must feed on the misery of others. You must take away their right. Everything the imperialists did, everything the Romans did, everything that has been done to humanity to subjugate them is still happening right here in Nigeria, diplomatically. And now you will not understand. Nigeria is a nation blessed by progressive-minded people. But how these progressive-minded individuals allowed themselves, even their wisdom, to be corrupted by some group of charlatans is what I do not understand. But of course I do understand, but you are the one, most of you do not understand. I was listening to the response of Abacha children, Abacha General Sani Abacha Ederson, to Ibrahim Babangida. He was registering his displeasure that what Babangida said about his father was a lie, that Babangida lied against Abacha. In this press communique, I took my time to see the end message he was trying to pass. He actually reacted for record purposes. But he ended up fooling every Nigerian. And you know in English you call it diplomatic. He's being diplomatic. And so he ended by telling the whole world that Babangida and Abacha are best friends. Even in death, they remain best friends. This is how we have been treating the problem of Nigeria. And honestly, you call a spade a spade. Abacha, for the one, if I would tell you, it's not the worst leader that has led Nigeria. In fact, it's among the best, if we know what is obtainable. Let me digress so you will understand why we must. Those of you from South, you can allow them to fool you. But don't worry. If we are not able to correct these errors of the past, our children will suffer dearly for it. But we are doing what we are supposed to do in a time like this, and believe me, we will get it right. Now, let me explain to you. Abacha as an individual took over power because that was the order of the day. Any military person that has access to the pavilion of power will jump up, boom, coup d'etat everywhere. It was the order of the day. This was the era before 1999 democracy. And when he took over power, believe me, Abacha is an ignorant man to the best of my knowledge. He do not know how to run the affair of the nation. What he did in the first 1 month was consultation. He was calling the Muslims, he was calling the Christians, he was calling traditional rulers, he was calling top military officers, he was calling Nigerian stakeholders. And how did I know? When he invited the religious body, the Christians, it was in Abati Barracks, somewhere in Uju-Elegba in Lagos. That was the seat of power then or around Obalende. But the meeting was held in the Abati Barrack in Obalende. And then General Abacha told these reverends, these bishops, and said, Nigeria is in my hand. I do not know where to start from, but I will need all of you to support. You know, they always come as corrective regime. They come to correct regime and save Nigeria. And so with that same notion, he gathered the Christian leaders. He told them, where do we start from? They had a brief chat that night. For some reason, we were around there when the bishop, my church bishop, gave this information because he was in that meeting. And at the end of the discussion, General Abacha shared money in envelope and distributed it among the pastors in a very large banquet hall. And now there was something he did to the pastors. Some envelopes were big, some envelopes were small. It was a trick from Abacha. And when he kept the envelope on that long banquet hall table, The pastors started dragging the envelope. They started fighting among themselves. My bishop had broken that very day. He has not recovered from it at this very moment. He said because some were trying to take the bigger envelope, and Abacha was watching them through a security mirror. And then we don't have all these CC camera these days. He was watching them through a security mirror that was in that hall. And that was the first and the last Abacha consulted Christians or anybody on how to rule Nigeria. Because I believe this message is coming from the angles of the Christian. If bishops and bishopes and archbishop and archangel will drag money, I wonder what the ogomos, the herbalists, the politicians, the greedy people, I wonder what they would have done. And from that day, Abacha felt he cannot trust anybody. And he told the part he told. But here is Abacha, the only recognized political criminal Nigeria ever knew. We only hear of Abacha loot. But this is where it gets dicey. Where are the old Abacha loot that has been repatriated? Where are all the Abacha money, stolen money from Abacha that have returned to Nigeria? The person that is stealing it, an Abacha, who is actually the criminal. And then somebody said it is Abacha. Babangida said it is Abacha who annoyed June 12. But there is more beneath that they can't see. Abacha's son would have come out and say, this statement coming from Babangida, it's wrong, unacceptable, and it is condemnable, most especially when it is coming from my father's best friend, one of the greatest family allies we have. But this having been said, we leave it at that. At least he has responded. He has registered his displeasure. And I tell you, Babangida will not have peace for the rest of his life. But then, after issuing the press communique, he still went back and romance. So that they say he's a diplomatic guy. He has sense. He's aware the way he placed it. At least he has registered his displeasure. This is the problem opposition Nigerian has found themselves. We see a lot of criminals jumping up and down everywhere, disorganizing our life, frustrating everybody. But we cannot come out and call a spade by simply saying, brother, this thing is wrong and unacceptable. You can't be doing this thing. You condemn it in its totality, not because you hate them, but to prevent the pending doom or danger. And not until we get to this level where we call a spade, facing reality, irrespective of the consequence that stares us in the face. Believe me, we have a very long way to go. You see, since 1977 till this very moment, you don't get rich by working hard. Most people don't know. And so they work out all their life. They work from morning till night and die for nothing. No wonder the Bible says that he that labor from morning till the night will die of poverty, for he shall eat the bread of sorrow. Most people do not know. Those big people you see on top, he said that steal the money or they print the money. Yes, you heard me right. Since the era of 1,000 naira note and the POS in Nigeria, if you know the amount of fake 1,000 naira that is in circulation, if you know the amount of fake Nigerian currency that is in circulation, you will understand that your working hard is good. It is commendable. It is advisable to work hard, but you will not do that by becoming rich. And now all this scenario I've created bring us down to the major 5 reasons why Nigeria has not been able to unite and has not truly prospered. Because prosperity, it's not the natural resources, the deposit that you have. I hear people tell, oh, Akwa Ibom has the highest gas deposit in the whole Nigeria. But is there anything to show for it in Akwa Ibom? And then another person will say, followed by River State. Is there anything to show for that wealth in River State? And then another will say, then Delta State. Honestly, is there anything to show for it in Delta State? So you have this wealth, but you are not prospering. We cannot forget Libya. When Saddam Hussein discovered a quantity of oil, we know what he did. We know the revolution he brought about. We know that 99.9% of the bills of every Libyans were catered by the government, just discovery of tiny oil. We have and still witnessing the revolution going on in the United Emirates, the dream of one man to liberate the people from this hopelessness we are encouraging in Nigeria. A little oil they found in the desert. Today, they are putting the world, the supposed advanced nation, on their heels. The United Emirates don't have anything outside that oil, but with the little oil they have found, which is not up to what you have in half of River State, look at what their life has become. And so by the time you begin to measure prosperity by the natural resources and human capacity that has not been deployed for the benefit and overall interest of every Nigerian, you are creating the dens of thieves. And the rich will continue getting rich, the poor will continue getting poorer, and then there will be strife and hatred among the people. And when these grow to a level of maturity, nobody will be safe. You will not understand. And so Nigeria must understand that we must get to a level where we unite. And not uniting to be recolonized by anybody, but developing this mindset, this level of understanding and maturity, that yes, we are the same people, just that we come from different mother. Let me explain. In the early hours of 1900 and down to this very moment, a lot of individuals flank themselves around the world. They call themselves Pan-African. Go and watch the achievement of 99.9% of Pan-Africans. They have genuine intention. They have real projects. They have beautiful things they want to do. They're fighting for African to be united. But African cannot unite. Why? Is it because there are some white people in Africa? They were not there in the first place. They are strangers who've taken our land from us. Why? Is it because the South African hates Nigeria? Why? Is it because Nigerian hates Benin Republic, or the Benin Republic hates Ghana, or Ghana hates Ivory Coast? Do we really hate ourselves? No, they couldn't pull the shot. The project of Pan-Africa, it's almost dead on arrival. You can only whisper it. Anything more than whisper, it is fragile. Because when you go back to our individual base, home, we are not united. For instance, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who is a well-known Pan-African from Nigeria. How Pan-Nigeria did he pan-beat Nigeria? What is his action that actually gives credibility to his supposed pan-beater Africa? You will see there is greed behind it. And everybody sees it. Because my people will say when there is too much sand in the soup, the blind person will see it. And so you are jumping up and down. We are one Africa, one united Africa, one almighty Africa. Let's become Africa. But right in your own country, you are a mess. Little wonder South Africans do not have respect for Nigerians. I can go on and on and on and on and explain. But I believe by now, you have idea of what we are saying. And so coming to talk about Nigerian unity, it's not about coming to saying we are one Nigeria. The task to keep Nigeria is undividable, unimaginable, unapproachable. No. Nobody takes the kingdom by words. You take it by action. Let your action of unity speak louder than your words. You can see Igbo Biafra people everywhere. They are uniting us. They are uniting us. And those of us who know how much they hate us, because we refuse to be colonized by them. Our fathers and their father before their father have tried it because of the imperialist influence, because of the betrayal of other tribes within the eastern region, supposedly. They hate us for it. But it's amazing. Today, we must be Igbo by force. My brother, that is the last thing you people will do. But by the time you begin to do the right thing, we'll be the one following you. I have never been able to accept my descendant having anything to do with Benin. I've never thought about it. But this is the truth. We have claimed to be Igbo. I have claimed to be Igbo. But then, I am telling you now that I am not Igbo. And now you are the one now shouting, no, you must be Igbo, you must be Igbo. The pattern of Igbo Unity Project, the mindset behind Igbo Unity Project is the same way we are fighting for unity inside Nigeria. How can you prosper? Because every moment Igbo people push this, their unity, criminality, they are upsetting the balance. They are not seeing it. We will be enlightening our people to know what is happening. And then how can the unity come about? It's not happening only in the South. Watch those in the Northeast. Watch those in the North Central. Watch those in the Northwest. You will see that their body language has started changing. The Hausa now is looking for a way to talk to their people, to control the oligarchy system of the Fulani. But you are not seeing it. It has started already. But we're trying to build one Nigeria. And when I listened to some of those Hausa online, this is what they said. That it was Nnamdi Kanu and then one other person. Should it be the emir that has made them understand that something is wrong somewhere? One of them I listened to. He said in the first place, there is nothing like Hausa, because every ethnic group in the north celebrates Kaniru Day, Fulani Day, Nupe Day, Gwari Day, but they don't celebrate Hausa. And when they do celebrate Hausa Day, that none of their governor comes. And so when they heard the broadcast of Nnamdi Kanu, and this is what happened, because Nnamdi Kanu was actually made us to see that outside Tafawa Balewa, there is no Hausa person that is politically relevant again. Till tomorrow morning, all of them are Fulani. Now, this is the truth. When Nnamdi Kanu was saying this truth, Hausa did not say he hate Hausa. Fulani did not cry he hate Fulani. But this was the truth, undeniable truth. And now Hausa has gotten hold of this truth. And now they are moving. They are trying to fight to know why Hausa person cannot be a governor in the supposed Hausa land. And one of them in their broadcast said, he's not even sure there is something about this Hausa. There is something they need to find out. And now, having said this, you move back to Nnamdi Kanu. He said many truths, but he was not saying this truth for the benefit of Hausa people. He want to cause confusion in Nigeria. He want to hit Hausa head and Fulani head together. But if Fulani and Hausa now must have crisis or avert the looming danger that engulf this ethnic group, they should stop what they are doing, because Hausa is beginning to get sense now. That is why we won Wazobia. That game is over. And now you're coming back to the southeast. Igbos are there trying to claim us, but we have known the truth. We work with them. We know that all this Igbo unity, it is just a fight for political gain, numerical strength, financial stability, assimilation and completely accusation and accumulation and disappearance of our people. There is no room for us to benefit anything. I see it in their hatred for my people. I've not generalized it though. I see it in their meeting after meeting. And I warn them. And now that I'm coming to tell you the truth as somebody from the South, Igbo people are everywhere on my platform. Oh, he hating Igbo. Oh, he hating Igbo. You heard how I told you that Nnamdi Kanu clearly told them. And now I see the plan of Igbo people within Nnamdi Kanu against fellow Nigerians. And so while we are here fighting to stop the expansionists from invading our land and taking over our life, somebody is up there telling you, let's unite Nigeria. How possibly can we unite when there are interior motives coming from across board, most especially in the concept and idea of Wazobia? But how can we prosper when there is no true unity? There are things that happens. Not every man reacts, but some people will not react, but you will wish they reacted. And that is the position we have found ourselves today. And so for Nigerians to truly unite and then prosper, we have to look at 5 angles that must be addressed. If you like, you are from the South, allow them to be fooling you. Come and talk rubbish. Come and condemn us. You are condemning yourself. The truth does not need defense. Just let it go. Just let it go. Number one thing we need to consider there is favoritism, that manifests in form of tribalism or nepotism. You want us to unite. When it comes to sharing national cake, you favor your people. You favor your cabal. That is where tribalism comes in. That is where nepotism comes in. My village people first. My tribal people first. My cartel, my cabal first. I'm not sure American is still towing on that part. My brother in Singapore told me, I think he said they have 8 communities or 8 regions rather that form the Singapore. He said the development that is in one region is duplicated in another region. He said the government of Singapore, that is what they do. When they wake up, they say, for instance, Nigerians have 6 geopolitical zones at the moment. And they will say, we want to build a national hospital of international standard where free healthcare delivery will be made available for the people. He said in Singapore, they will assign projects for the 8th region. And like in Nigeria, they will assign this massive project for the 6 geopolitical zone. And the government of the day must make sure they finish it. And when they feel they need to tie 1 kilometer road for any community, the project must be able to cover 1 kilometer road in every community that is in Singapore. And by the time you see, the whole nation are drawn together in terms of progress. I've not been to Singapore. Some of you may be there. And I'm sure they are one of the neatest countries in the world. I'm sure you know what I'm saying is the truth. But in Nigeria, how is it? Even the governor of Delta State, for instance, from Ibori to Uduaga, Ibori even boasted that till he leave office, he will not do anything in Asaba. Even the tissue paper he will use to go to toilet in Asaba, he will carry it back to his place. It was on the newspaper. It was everywhere. And he carried it out. This is data. And you come out and tell me about prosperity of one Nigeria, peace and unity of one Nigeria. Uduaga slightly did the same thing. Go and look at what Sheriff is doing. The project that is going on in his region, it will marvel you. And so without Okowa, Abo, that is one of the oldest cities in Africa. You know, there are a lot of things you people don't know. When you hear of Benin City, you will be judging Benin City the way it is today, like the way Lagos is. But when Benin got that name, Benin City, there are few states in Nigeria that has, how do I put it, that are cities or towns. Few places in Nigeria. Maybe Ibadan, maybe Sokoto, and then maybe somewhere in Kano and Kaduna. Few cities. And that time Abo was there. But today, Abo still looks like a village compared to Asaba. And if the people are not complaining, we are using ourselves as a case study. If we are not complaining about it, because this is what we are doing to ourselves. And there is no system to check it. There is no law to ensure that everybody enjoys equally. You are building one prosperous nation, or you will be building. So when it comes to favoritism, when it comes to tribalism, manifesting in nepotism, such a nation cannot prosper. Such a nation cannot be united. And then you come on the whole scope. If not that the government of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is somehow guided by divine influence, Senator Akpabio would have been in soup by now. Because they know that somewhere along the line, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu will not act based on sentiment or emotion. He knows what he wants and he goes for what he wants. Ordinarily, Wike and Akpabio would have been gone. He will not yield for them. But you will not understand. I listened to a broadcast, an interview coming from one Igbo man, and somebody was asking him, what does Igbo people want from Nigeria? And then that man that wants us to respect him was crying. They should treat Igbo well. They must give Igbo rights. They must allow Igbo to vote. They must allow Igbo to do this. They are doing this to Igbo. Why will you cry more than the bereaved? But the truth is that the people that are being disenfranchised, the people whose right has been taken, the people whose nation feed on their misery are not even crying. Igbo people that are stakeholders in Nigeria are the one crying. But Wazobia is working, and you are not Wazobia. And somewhere along the line, you say, I don't have sense. Give us Biafra. We are looking for Biafra. And the same people will say unity of one Nigeria. What a shame. Number two, we look at sectarianism, religious problem. That is the greatest weapon of Peter Obi undoing. We now look at the issue of religion. Peter Obi leak audio explains everything. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. This is a religious war. This is a religious war. But if I were the one telling you that one of the problems why we are not united in Nigeria is because of religion. We are not mature enough. From number one citizen of Nigeria to the last citizen of Nigeria, we are not mature enough to deal with this area. But yeah, they say, our one united, one Nigeria, we shall be united. Don't let them deceive you. This issue must be addressed. If not, they are all hypocrites. But that will not mean we will not make effort to unite our people. When we talk about this sectarianism, this sect, which deal with religion, there is a provision in Nigerian constitution that actually somehow does not agree with Christian to Christian running a party mate, Muslim to Muslim ticket. But how many people have respected it? And for a very long time, more than 30 years or thereabout, every president of Nigeria has been very careful not to make that mistake. But our humble president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, he called all of you a bluff. He's operating on Muslim to Muslim ticket. Of course, his wife is a Christian. But who protects the interest of the Christians? And when we begin to dwell on the Christians and the Muslims, are they the only religious people in Nigeria? So who protects the traditionalists? You can see Soludo now arresting native doctors, which is good. You can see Asaba of Asaba now asking is in wine, all those fetish criminal women doing yahoo in the name of traditionalists. But ordinarily, if they have a body that regulates the activities and review what they do, If they had a position in Aso Rock like the Christian and Muslim have, I don't think the nuisance they are causing will be there today. I don't think most of the things happening there will be there today. And so today, you have a Christian Kaaba politicians go and ask P2B. And then you have the Muslim Kaaba Christian go and ask the North, or go and ask President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. But to cut that long story short, we want unity. But when it comes to religion, we don't want to unite. But some people think, no, it's not achievable. It is achievable. Actually, the Bible says that the descendant of Ishmael, their sword will be against everybody, and everybody's sword will be against them. And invariably, he was talking about the Christians and the Muslims. Not actually. When he said the descendant of Ishmael's sword will be against everybody, Christians are not the only body there. The Hundis, the Bundis, and the rest of them, the Yehudians, they are all there. And why can we use that to judge Nigeria? Forgetting the simple truth that when you go to Israel, religion is not a barrier. Muslims and Christians almost worship in the same place. When it comes to the issue of religion, you see what is religion tolerance. In fact, go and learn from Yoruba people. Is President Ahmed Bola Tinubu not a Muslim? Is he not married to a Christian wife? But then, we have destroyed the platform of unity by this sect in the name of religion. It must be addressed. We are being recolonized on this platform without your knowledge. We look at the number 3 there. Discriminatory. Being used as art of inequality. Discriminate. By discriminating, they use it as a weapon or a tool to project inequality. Now let me remind you, there was a time I went to a meeting in Enugu, organized by high-powered Igbo men. It was actually on the verge of releasing Nnamdi Kanu, first time from the Kuje prison. And they were asking me certain questions regarding what was going on. And when everybody there introduced themselves, I have said this severally, and those were the beginning of how God delivered me. Everybody introduced themselves, from Barrister Fanyo Jofo to late Senator Iwanyango, and so many of Igbo respected individuals. And when it was my turn, and I introduced myself, and I say I am from Agbo. And the woman who was the woman leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide stood up immediately, a very elderly woman, and asked this question in Igbo dialect. Biko kwano, ndi Agbo, I was a Kwandi Igbo. I was almost taking my seat when she took over immediately. Because ndi Agbo, I was a Kwandi Igbo. The meeting was intense. And then Nnayamodo stood up and calm diffused the system. And then they laugh. That is when I know something is not right. That woman saw something was not right. I was not supposed to be in that meeting. I was not supposed to be there. And it was from that meeting, whoever set me up, some say one of the journalists there is an agent. That was when DSS picked me up. The same people you are working with, they will sacrifice you without a thought. Why am I bringing it up? Inequality. They choose who to use. They choose who to use for dirty game. They choose who to receive the benefit. You people have not seen what these Igbo Biafra people are made up of. Inequality. If I come online, I see them calling me criminal, I'm robber. I know the truth. That cannot change. When we did IPOB, we got to a stage. Nnamdi Kanu placed all the coordinators under monthly salary, but not me. Go and ask Uchuka for Mefo. All of them were placed under salary. All of them Igbo people, but not me. You people don't know what is happening. That is what is still happening in Nigeria. Inequality. And so when you are Hausa, you have preferential treatment. When you are Yoruba, preferential treatment. When you are Igbo, preferential treatment. But under these 3 clauses, they are the ones still complaining of Nigerian problem. And yet we want unity in order to prosper. This issue must be addressed. That is the reason behind our inability to unite and to prosper. We look at monopolistic. You already know what is monopoly. Some people have the right to do whatever they like, and others don't have. In case you don't know, the Nigeria you know today, the North wields the power. The Northern Nigerians wield the power of this nation, whether you like it or not. The Western Nigerians are in charge of protocol. They represent us ministerially. And whether Igbo man cry from here till tomorrow, they are in charge of the market gates. Economically, they control whose sum of economic block and ventures, which you will never succeed. If you try it, they will bring you down. If you try it, they will frustrate you. But all these advantages they are having, monopolizing, giving themselves this right to do what they are doing. Isaac Adakaboro came out and said, divide Nigeria. He died for it. Ken Saro-Wiwa came out and said, don't treat issue of minority like this. He died for it. Ojukwu came out and said, give us Biafra. He died as a Nigerian patriot. He died. His wife is still ambassador. And they want one united Nigeria, one prosperous nation. Is that what they are doing in United Emirates? Is that what they are doing in Israel? Is that what they are doing in China and in Japan? But I'm coming. And of course, the fifth one here is political irresponsibility. The reason why we cannot unite, the reason why we cannot truly prosper, the pediment, the hindrance, we have a lot of politicians who are irresponsible. Political irresponsibility. Who is your governor? How did your governor go there? They come into office, you begin to hyper them, begin to praise them based on political party affiliation. But what happens to their political manifesto? What happened to the promise they make to the people? Why are they not speaking for us? There was a time Igbo Biafra people were on social media shouting, Wike is killing Indigo, Wike is killing Indigo, Wike is killing Indigo. The governors of the Southeast in company of Ohanes Indigo paid a courtesy visit to Governor Wike. They are all listening. This is the allegation we had. Why are you killing Igbo people? And Wike explained to them. They were dove-handed by the revelation they got. They now shut up and left. In the normal circumstance, do they have the right to do that? But let's say they are responsible governors and leaders. They must protect the interests of their people, not just outside their region, their state, but outside the continent and anywhere around the world. That is how it's supposed to be. That is being politically responsible. But when the issue of irresponsibility comes in, it's when these same Igbo politicians are watching their people, distorting history, and they are comfortable. They are irresponsible people. And the worst irresponsible individual are our own politicians who think we don't know what we are doing, and they keep quiet. You are there as a Robo man. You are there as a Shekiri man. You are there as a Bini man. You are there as a Abo man. You are there as a Okwane man. You are there as a Ikure man. You are there as who you are. You are there as a Akwa Ibom man. You are there as a Bibu, Efik, Anang, Ogoja. You are there as a Obobura, Tunapa, or whatever place you come from. Imagine if they are there as Igbo or Yoruba. Let's see how comfortable you will be. No, imagine if the governor of Delta State was to be Anambra man. Let me see whether you will survive. But all this truth we already know threatens us on a daily basis. And the beauty of every living thing is that the moment they are threatened, they develop defense mechanism. It is defense mechanism we are developing now. And then we throw on the part of advocacy patriotism. In other words, we are not calling to kill anybody. We are not calling to destroy anybody. We are calling for number one, the people of the South and the South supposed minority of Nigeria. If you don't begin to speak up, if you don't begin to organize yourself, there are some people who are hell-bent to distort history and confuse the next generation of your people. If they have the way, by now they will be shooting us. If they have the way, by now they will be killing us. Go to my boss and see what they write me on a daily basis. If they can do it to their own people, are you the one they will leave? What we are saying in effect, or what we have to do or developing our defense mechanism when we have seen this danger clearly, is to alert our people. That is what we are doing here. Alerting our people is not enough. We cannot save everybody. Some of you will ignorantly die in their hand. Some of you will lose everything and nobody will speak for you. It's very difficult, as tiny as Ogoni is. If Nigeria want to do anything to Ogoni people, they will think twice. Because Ogoni people somewhere along the line have been radicalized. It is applicable to the Ijaw people. If you want to do anything to them, even as Nigeria, they will think twice. Because somewhere along the line, Ijaw people have been radicalized. What about Abo people? What about Ikwere people? What about Akwa Ibom people? What about other tribes? Let's assume all of us have been radicalized. Can we speak with one voice? Notice my work all these days is geared directing towards expose Igbo Biafra. But watch their body language. Almost 99.9% of them want to believe I'm attacking Ndi Igbo. Even when they know that the Ndi Igbo are the problem of Nigeria. But it's difficult. They now have every platform to do whatever they wish to do. They have the social media world to tell lies, blackmail. They have those in the court to do all of them. But this is the promise I made to all of them. Just try it. All of you coming for me, you will lose everything that you are. I think in recent time, we're talking about Ebukobi. Most people don't understand. Now, he has been the satellite on himself. Men of God without honor. Where is Ijeli? Where is Ijeli? Now, understand the people of the South. Until they change us, because there is every plan to destroy South. We don't know what they will call us yet. But while the process is ongoing, if you like, allow Igbo Biafra people to be hypering you. Let them give you like and share. We may not be here when our children will suffer for it. And it is not coming on Facebook to talk. I've told you people, we need to come together. If they have Afeni Ferry, we should have our own. If they have Ohaneze Ndigbo, we should have our own. If they have Arewa Consultative Forum, we should have our own. But you see, we have a challenge. And that challenge is we have been divided and still being manipulated and constantly being instigated. I hope they have not destroyed Benin already. Because the way Asian and Benin fight each other on social media now, even Benin and Yoruba are not doing that. The way some Yoruba and Ishekiri want to begin to counter themselves, I'm sure they don't know what they are entering inside. But our hope is not lost. If it remains the only way, in that way we must follow it. The journey has already begun. A lot of groups are coming up in the name of South. Somewhere along the line, we must have a voice to speak for us. And not until the minorities of Nigeria get to the level where they are treated fairly, equally, Nigeria may not be able to unite, because we are the glue that hold Wazobia together. And Nigeria will not prosper. These things will not end like this. It will revolutionize, not by us. Because our people are knowing the truth already. People of the South. We'll be calling you in the coming days. Understand that it is the survival of the supposed minority of Nigeria. The survival of our people, protecting our culture, tradition, our heritage, our value system, preserving all of them. That is why we are here. If we do not do this, nobody will. So don't let them deceive you. Don't let them tell you otherwise. We'll be making this call in the coming days. We will send this broadcast everywhere, because a lot of atrocities going on in our place. We don't have a voice to say it. And of course, to my Igbo people, believe me, we don't hate you. We cannot hate you. We don't hate anybody. And it is not enough to hate anybody. Being in one Nigeria is not a cause to hate anybody. But running one Nigeria on the expense of our people is where the problem comes in. Because let's assume I've not been to South Africa. I've not been to Ghana. I've not been to Cameroon. I've not been to Yugoslavia or wherever. Could I hate people I've not seen? Could I hate Ghanaians? Could I hate Egyptians, Libyans, South Africans? Can I hate them when I've not seen them? But maybe if we're together, we can begin to hate them. And now we are together in one Nigeria. We are hating ourselves. It is left for us to correct that thing that is making us hate ourselves. And by the time we're able to correct these things that is making us hate ourselves, that is the only time we can unite Africa without making the whole Africa to begin to hate themselves. And so what am I saying in other words? As Igbo person, stop supporting evil. You start by disassociating from the things you see that insult other ethnic groups. Maybe that will be the focus in my next broadcast. Because it is going to take every Nigerian to make Nigeria great. The only problem is that once you hear Igbo, hey, he's hating Igbo, he hating Igbo, coming from another place. But what you people are doing to yourself is unheard of. It's unheard of. When Igbo man kill Igbo man, nobody talks about it. When Igbo man rape Igbo man, nobody talks about it. When Igbo man defraud Igbo man, nobody talks about it. Are you too comfortable with this? But when another tribe comes out and call out the evil, oh, they hate Igbo, they hate Igbo. But this is what Peter Obi is doing. Let somebody mess in Kwatangora. Peter Obi will say, it is politically irresponsible for a politician to flatter in the public. Let somebody cough in Yoruba land. Peter Obi will say, that is what I told you. Unhygienically political individual cannot mind the affair of the nation. You begin to hear blah, 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 blue, boo, 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 blue, blue. I think you know what I'm saying. That time, it's not they hate Yoruba, they hate Hausa. You people have the right to talk about everybody, but nobody have the right to talk about you. If you don't change this mentality, you are not our concern. We'll be doing what we are doing. The progressive-minded Igbo people will help them to survive the toxic ones. We have toxic people all around every ethnic group, every home, but you cut down their excesses in order for others to survive. Don't forget I'm George Onibe. I'm not changing myself. I'm not answering fake name. Let's go to the comment section and attend to one or two insults before I bring the broadcast to an end. At least until we open the platform where you can make your call and insult, and then we'll respond to you normally. We will do this. I see Uwa, Endurance. I greet you from here. Good morning. You say, may God continue to bless you and protect you. Amen. Endurance. I see Izu. You say, George Ilebinu man. Useless Mugu. Yes, Izu Kama, you are just another Igbo social media warrior. You see the comment you made the other time. You said that I am the slave of Oba of Benin. Did you hear my response? My brother, let me tell you the truth. I prefer to be the slave of the Oba of Benin than to have Igbo Biafra man as my neighbor, as my ally. You have to deal with it. It will be glorious for me to be the slave of Oba of Benin than to have Igbo Biafra man as my trusted ally. How about that? You need to begin to ask yourself questions. All this your insult, we have come in terms with it. Honestly, we prepared our mind and we came in terms with you people's nonchalant behavior. It doesn't move us. You think where you can say idiot, yap and trash, rubbish. We are putting you where you belong. Or your body never come down. Where are all of you? What a shame. You are the people destroying Igbo. What did he say? He said, Mumuma, if you use 10% of your time to go and walk, you did not hear what I tell you. Working hard to make money stopped in 1977. Today, when we review all these supposed criminals who are wealthy people, you will see 70% of them are printing money already. They have printing machine to print money. They just print it, waste it. And if they are 70%, we go and investigate now. You will see that about 50% out of the 70% of Nigerian billionaires who are already reprinting Nigerian currency based on the vulnerability and the weakness of the central bank, you will see the Igbo Biafra. You want me to print currency? Believe me, I can do a lot of things on the internet. Graphic design, so many things. Video editing, there's so many things. Is that what you want? But the problem now is that where I come from, we use money. Money don't use us. That is the problem. So Izukama, you came last and your insult is not going anywhere. I greet you, Ukeoma. And now that is why I took my time to appreciate or talk to Igbo people. This is Ukeoma. Maybe an Igbo person. But it's not the toxic one who are the problem of Nigeria. How can we ignore them as if they are not existing, whereas they are the disease? You know, once you know the cause of a problem, you have solved that problem 50%. I see my brother from India. I greet you. Just I can't pronounce your name. I see Jugunu. He say, do we need foolish crowd here just for smart people? Thank you, Jugunu. That is one thing they don't understand. That is one thing they don't understand. They think it's about like, share, follow him, 20 million views. This message will get to everywhere. They don't even understand. I see who did that. And the Bible says, I sent forth my word. Slowly, steadily, surely, and certainly, it will get to its destination. And when I have this assurance, what else am I bothered about? I see ancestors say the man is creating great awareness and massive positive impact. They don't know. Look at Ikwere people. I'm shocked. The speed Ikwere people used to overtake Abo people. I am shocked. I am baffled. And now I have to begin to learn from Ikwere people. Does Ikwere people know this before? Do they know this before? by now, Ikwere would have been Igbo-nice. Inheron, her descendant would have gone. They've not stopped yet. Opobo is Igbo, Rumodara is Igbo, Rumokoro is Igbo, Mbuoba is Igbo, everybody is Igbo. Now, let's go to Ikwere briefly. Did you hear Mbuoba, Uzuoba, Chuba? It's enough reason for Benin people to say, oh, this is Mbuoba people, they are from Oba Benin. But they're not doing that. Ikwere people are Helu. And then my Okwane people. The doggedness of Okwane is unbelievable. Okwane people, I thank you people. Because as far as Anyoma project is concerned, exposing these criminals, it is Eka. Let me remove Eka themselves. It is Okwane that is the savior of Anyoma people in this journey. Because Eka people are wearing boots. Maybe they have not seen it. Without Okwane people, how many wonya boy? Who many ba? Who many nyona? Iwonya boy, iwonya Eka, iwonya Owa, iwonya Utokpo, iwonya Ekuoma, iwonya Abavo. Ikwanu here rasu iwonyu mune do no le chanu no hwe meme enyora ndi aton no se we ndi Biafra we social media say ndi mune de ndi Igbo ndi hone ndi Igbo ono awata ni hwere mono beta we se ne ale ndi mune de ale ndi Igbo yuzu ni sho no wari ku egwu nikome yakonyera jabofia. They throwing corn for you. Fall for it. They know you will not fall because you know the truth. But if we don't do what we are doing and our children wake up tomorrow and see this their lie unchallenged, they will believe it. But you will not understand. I see Harrison. Harrison, I greet you. Good morning from here. And then, of course, any other Johnson Best, I greet you. Any other Igbo Biafra person, you can drop your insult and then we will talk about it later. There's so many names here. I cannot attend to all of you. Daniel Onwara, I greet you. Good morning from here. Our fight is simple. Let the children of the devil not kill the children of God. And let the children of God don't kill the children of the devil. We'll continue from where we stopped.